سلام كميك أنهم تخطاطلتي مدب إيريناينرز وقوع بدحان صناحكم باركس لو معلتي حدش مدب حيزنا لكم قريبنا لنا هم تلمود لو معلت حيز لكم قريبا زلوه قاشا بزعبا فلايت أب FAA عتسرح بزعبا فلايت لنا عمالتيو بزعبا هاني فرحي وكل تيو مالتيو حدا مبصحتو سب ترافل كجبر يفرح مهنياتو بزح نجارات الله ينوز فرحه كمي سيف يوم زملو كم تستحاو سيف إذا كاني نستحت قلت لنا بسفيحه مالتيو أبقى أي كاني مزي حمام زلو حج COVID-19 أو travel كجبراي كلني أنا مستي air circulation قلنا بهالموني it's very clear it's very safe يعتبلو so بسفيحه بعلها قلت لنا لو معلتي زي عمل بزي حيزنا لكم متينا لنا بخطكاتاتو لنا تسفى قبر مالتي.
Hi, my name is Kim Pyle. I work at the FAA in safety. And I am here with Yorda today so that I can encourage you guys that flying is really safe and that there's nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah, because we were talking earlier how if you could tell us how safe it is for people to fly because of COVID and the air circulation and all that, and you would know better because that's your expertise, I guess.
Right. Well, we keep flying safe no matter what. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I'm encouraged about is that during the pandemic, we have done a lot of testing of the quality of the air inside the airplanes, and we verified that they are because they're filtered.
Right.
It's really actually safer than most enclosed spaces. So flying in a plane is incredibly safe. I would say that you would, if you want to fly during COVID, you'd want to wear a mask the whole time and not take it off. Not even to drink water. I would just keep my mask on the whole time. But flying is we pay a lot of attention to all the details to make sure that flying is safe.
Yeah, I was trying to actually when I knew that you were coming here, and I was trying to do a little research. I was like, okay, I'm lost now because there's so many. It's overwhelming. And how many people works and how many flights they in and out. And please explain how.
So there are probably 6,000 flights in the United States right now in the air at this moment, which is an incredible amount of traffic. But each one of those flights is carefully spaced from all the others.
Right.
And there's communication between the pilot and air traffic controllers the whole journey of the flight. And they have rules they have to follow. They have certain speeds they have to go, certain angles they have to fly to keep them really carefully spaced out, which is actually, if we could only do that on the highways, we would save so many lives every year. I mean, the attention that goes into aviation is just really incredible.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that it's even a lot safer than driving or traveling with a car because how many people they die a year in car crash or a road.
I was just looking at the statistics, and last year it's about 1 death per million miles.
Over
for cars.
Okay.
Now for aviation, you will see probably 1 in a billion. For a billion flights, you'll see 1 death, and actually it's less than that now. We've had a really good year in the United States, of course, for aviation with no commercial accidents, so that's good.
Yeah, it's and also you mentioned earlier that you shouldn't take your mask on the plane.
Right.
So is it actually even they have regulations that they don't even
they really want you to wear your mask, and they will allow you to take it off to eat or drink.
I see. Okay.
But I would recommend that you keep it on the whole time.
Okay.
And I think, they're taking precautions and doing COVID tests prior to boarding.
I see. Okay.
So a lot of flights are asking for a proof of a negative COVID test, which is good.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so my parents are, my dad's 81 and my mom's 77, and they're flying to Hawaii in January. So next month. And
so before they take the vaccine.
Well, I hope that they take the vaccine before they fly. But they are prepared to fly. They actually flew. Okay, so my parents flew back from Singapore during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And they did not get sick. They wore masks the whole time. They wore N95 masks. They were really careful, and they followed all the protocol that we recommend: social distancing, staying with the mask on.
And it's a long flight. How many hours flight is it?
That is a really long flight. Oh my gosh. You have to take several flights, but it's in total about 22 hours in the air.
Oh my goodness.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It is a lot. You're not scared of flying.
I'm not. No, absolutely not. I'm afraid when I get in a taxi. when I land in a lot of countries and I get in a taxi, I start praying.
Oh my goodness. Wow. See,
nervous.
vice versa. I'm like, oh my God, especially when I go home. Like, it's all, what is it? It's 18 hours? Or, oh gosh. I'm like, but during lockdown, that's how I felt. Like, you get up, you sleep, you eat, you go back to bed. And I was like, okay, this is like, I feel like I'm in a long distance traveling, like in a plane, but there's no destination.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You're just,
I'm like, wait a minute, how long is it going to go?
I know. I'm really, really ready to fly somewhere, aren't you?
I am. Well, I did have a plan to go back home, actually.
When are you going to go?
Well, not with this until I take the vaccine and all.
Good.
But then again, how I'm so glad you break it down very. This is really good because especially for some people who are afraid of flying,
it's incredibly safe because we have so many eyes on the airplane itself, on the training for the pilots, on the training for all the crew on the aircraft.
Right.
They're trained. The engineering is done very carefully. Every time there's an accident, we learn from the mistakes that went into create that accident.
Right.
And that's why you see fewer and fewer accidents.
Exactly.
Because each time something happens, we say we can't let this happen again.
Right.
So we have to learn whatever lessons we can from that mistake and fix it so that the next time that same mistake doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Do you have any plan to travel or anything?
I cannot wait to travel, but I'm going to get the vaccine first.
I see. So before you travel.
I'm going to, because I think everyone has their own approach to risk.
Right.
And you need to be comfortable. And if you're comfortable traveling with a mask, I think it's probably fine. I'm going to wait and get the vaccine just to be extra safe.
You recommend that?
Yeah, but I think people are being incredibly careful. Certainly the pilots and the stewardesses and the flight attendants and the crew, they're being very careful. So really isn't anything to be afraid of.
That's good to know. And I remember you went to Nigeria. Was it a year ago or?
Oh, gosh, I think it was a couple of years ago. I was in Nigeria, which was incredible, and I worked with some folks there from NAMA, which is the aviation management group, and we taught safety and safety culture, and investigations.
Drone, anything like that? Because
in Tanzania and in Kenya, I talked about drones and went to their countries to talk about safe integration of drones into the airspace. And some of the things that we're doing in America to safely manage these new drones and UAS.
Yeah. There's regulations.
There's a lot of regulations. You need to know what the drone is supposed to be doing, and you need to know that it's authorized to be there.
I see.
So there needs to be some way to register them, and know where that drone is supposed to be going, so it doesn't go in the path of a flight.
Okay.
Because actually, that could be very dangerous.
They're very sophisticated. I was like, oh my God, this is like almost like watching this science fiction movie or something. Yeah,
it's incredible.
I'm like, I used to see this. This is in the 90s. Like, this used to be in a movie. Now it's real.
It's real.
Like, and everything.
Amazon is thinking about delivering packages using drones, which is, I can't wait. I'm going to spend even more money at Amazon.
I know. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you, Kim. Thank you for coming. Thank you for having time to do this. This means a lot to our community. And do you have a final anything to say to encourage people to, with this hard time, actually?
Have faith that we will get through this, and have faith in the resilience of the human spirit.
Right.
Who would have thought when we started 2020 that we'd be here today on the last day of 2020
can't believe it. Thank goodness.
We have a new vaccine for this disease that was only discovered last year. So in less than 1 year, human beings have found a solution to allow us to continue to move forward and to be together. So that's encouraging to me. And I think, you know, there's no end to what we can accomplish if we work together. There's definitely a light at the end of the tunnel, and I see it. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, and hang in there, everybody, and thank you for your patience, and hopefully you enjoy this and you learn something from it. And Kim, I'm sure you'll come back to us again.
Love to. Thank you, Yorda.
Thank you, and please like and subscribe and share, and thank you again.